secondary school, debates from secondary schools, and then we also had an exhibition walk. We are going to have a slightly different activity today. The exhibition week has been laced with very, very interesting topical issues discussed by erudite members of the National Human Rights Commission. I welcome you all. I'd like to seize this opportunity to invite to the other side of the room very, very important dignitaries representing the ES and, of course, representing the Commission. I would like by starting with the representative of the Executive Secretary, Mr. Harry Oguche Obe. He's the Director, Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights Department. Coming after Mr. Obe is the Director, Planning, Statistics, and Documentations Department, Mrs. Halima Oyedele. And following her swiftly is the Director of Finance and Accounts, Mrs. Joy Oti. I want to also invite Mrs. Aisha Kaltongo, the coordinator of the Abuja Metropolitan Office. And of course, our Director, Human Resource Management, Mr. Ibe Ibidigwe. I shall be facilitating this event today with my colleague, Jenny Tohe. Jenny, they would like to see you. Can we rise for the national anthem, please?
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians home and proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
Thank you. I want to appreciate our children from GSS Area 11 and GSS Apo. Please, can we give them a round of applause? I have the singular honor and pleasure to invite the representative of the Executive Secretary to the podium to deliver his welcome remark.
Thank you once more, Fatih. Good morning, distinguished colleagues, directors of the National Human Rights Commission, very senior management, staff of the Commission, and other colleagues from the National Human Rights Commission, our highly prized guests, special guests, our children, the leaders of now till tomorrow, preparing to take your rightful places tomorrow. Our Uncle Fatih, thank you especially. Sometimes we forget to appreciate you, but just know that we appreciate what we're doing. The media and the facilitators of the amplification of our voices and what we do here, even visually, we appreciate you as well. So on behalf of the Executive Secretary, Dr. Tony Ojukwu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Officer of the Federal Republic, I'd like to welcome you to this, the third day of a highly packed event commencing the 2024 International Human Rights Day activities. Like the anchor said, today being the high point, as the third day and the last session of this exhibition and other activities that follows it, it promises a very valuable outcome. And I congratulate all of us that have been able to make it here to be part of it, especially our children from their schools. I engage with them privately. I say yesterday, some of us are not wearing uniforms were categorized as out-of-school children. And if I had my way, I would have introduced that as a topic. Let them discuss what out of school, who is an out-of-school child. And in order not to confuse them, I said maybe next year we can consider that as a topic. But having said that, and the Executive Secretary is very pleased that you're able to make it here. And like you have been told, we are going to have a lot of activities today, culminating into the closing of this first session of whatever we have started. So I welcome you and thank you for making it here. God bless you.
Please, let's give him another round of applause. Yes, he has set the pace for us. Yesterday, there were a series of issues discussed, and among them is what are human rights? I know our children may have different ideas, different knowledge of what human rights are, but it is in your own interest and in the interest of the National Human Rights Commission that we educate you more on what human rights are so that you know the right principles, of human rights. And it is for this purpose I will invite Debbie Dogo to come and take us through what human rights are. Please, can we welcome her?
Yeah, okay. Good morning, everyone. Please permit me to stand on an existing protocol. And good morning, children. Okay. Good morning, children. We want to welcome you to the headquarters of the National Human Rights Commission. I can recognize the JSS Secondary School, Area 11, yes, and JSS Secondary School, Apo, right? Now, what we're looking at today is what is human rights. But before I ask that, I'm sure we have, I don't know, does anybody have, is there a human rights club in your school? Pardon me, please. I wanted to stay down because I wanted to make it very interactive, but I've been asked to come up. Do you have human rights club in your school? Yes, ma'am. Clap for yourself. So, since you have human rights club in your school, I will not be surprised if you know the definition of human rights. And I want you to know one thing. There is no wrong answer. What did I say? No wrong answer. So who can tell me what human rights is? Okay. You?
Good morning, everyone. I want to tell you the meaning of human rights. My name is Balogun Amirat. I'm from JSS Apple Resettlement. I'm in JS 2A. Human rights are rights inherent to all human beings, regardless of sex, nationality, and religion. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Obande Emmanuel, and I'm here to tell you what is human rights.
What class are you?
I'm in JS2B.
Okay, tell us what human rights is.
Human rights are those privileges given to a citizen regardless of tribe, sex, race, gender, etc.
Let us clap for him. You are all correct, and thanks to the Human Rights Club in your school. Am I right? Now, I want to put human rights in a very simple way, in a way that you already know, but I also want you to see human rights as those rights that were given to you by virtue of the fact that you were born as a human being. And these rights are given to you by God. And these rights cannot be taken away from you. There's something that makes human rights very unique. They're called the principles of human rights. Does anybody know what the principles of human rights are? One thing about human rights is that, you do? You want to try? There's no wrong answer. Try, please. Let him try.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lee Moranugba David. I'm in just 3A.
Okay.
I'll try.
Yes,
One
try.
of
There's
the
no wrong answer.
rights to live.
Good. Clap for him. That's an example of human rights. But the principle of human rights is human rights are universal. What do we mean by human rights are universal? What did you say your name was? David. David, where are you from? Ogun State. What's your name? Yeah. Huh? Sadia. Sadia, where are you from? Niger State. Can you please stand up? You two stand up. Sadia is from Niger State, and your name is? David is from Ogun State. When we say human rights are universal, means they are the same everywhere. If you go to Ogun State, where David is from, human rights is the same as human rights in Niger. So when you go to America, human rights is the same, meaning the example you gave, the right to life. The right to life is the same in Ogun State. The right to life is the same in Niger. The right to life is the same in America. And guess what? These rights are what? Given to us by God. Clap for yourself. You did well. Another thing about human rights is that they are inalienable. Can we say that together? Do you know what that means? Okay, let me save you the time. It means they can't be taken away from you. It means you were born with them. So you can't ask somebody, I want human rights. Where can I get human rights? I need to obtain human rights. No, the day you were born with these rights. And they can't be taken away from you. So we say human rights are what? Universal. And in what? Clap for yourself. We're doing well, yeah? Awesome. Another thing is human rights are indivisible. Can somebody attempt that? What do we mean by human rights are indivisible? Can I try that? Can you want to attempt? Do you want to attempt? There's no wrong answer. Okay, good.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chijokoli Kamto Esther. I'm in JS 3. So, human rights, what it means by invisible, it can't be destroyed.
There are no wrong answers. They can't be destroyed. Indivisible means they can't be separated from one another. Can you give me an example of human rights? David already said right to life. Another person. Okay, give her.
My name is Okoyechukwu Amanda Favor, and I'm in just 2A.
Okay.
An example of human rights is right to freedom.
Right to freedom. Clap for her. Now, when we say indivisible, right to life and right to freedom. If the right to life is abused, can you exercise your right to freedom? If somebody is killed, can the person be free? So you can see that those human rights depend on what? Each other, okay? Now, because of time, I also want us to look at child's rights. Have you ever heard about child's rights? Children, do children have rights? What makes you feel children have rights? Can somebody tell me? No, give it to that lovely girl. Try it, there's no wrong answer. Why do you think you have rights?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nan Fidos Abubakar. I am just 3A. I want to right to education.
You have the right to education.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, why do you have the right to education?
Because we are human beings.
Correct. Clap for her. You see, children's rights are rights that look at the best interest of children because they are vulnerable. And one of the rights of children, as she mentioned, is the right to education. Every child has the right to education. And I want you to know that as you're seated here, it's not a favor for you to be in school. It's not a favor for you to have the access to education. It is your right. Another example of child's rights. You want to try? Okay. Right to shelter. Clap for him. Right to shelter. Every child has the right to shelter. Now, my time is far spent, but I also want to talk about the right to education because you are all school children and you are here. Now, since we said your rights can't be taken away from you, but something can be done about, sometimes things are done to human rights, and that is violation of human rights. Who can tell me, I want somebody to answer this question. Is bullying a violation of human rights? Bullying in school, is it a violation of human rights? Give it to him. David has answered. No. Okay. Give him. Okay. What's your name? Tell us your name and what class you are.
My name is Ikram Oyabola. I am in JSS 1A.
So is bullying a violation of human rights?
Yes.
It's a violation of human rights. Clap for him. He's very correct. Bullying in school is a violation of human rights because what? It distorts the right to what? Education. And as you are sitting here today, I want you to know that you are here today makes you a human rights defender because why? You understand what human rights is. Who is a human rights defender? A human rights defender is anybody that protects and promotes human rights at any given time. Meaning, if you see somebody being bullied in school and you say, no, don't bully this person, it's wrong, stop it. You have just defended human rights, and that makes you a human rights defender. I hope there's no bullying in your school. My time is up. I hope there's no bullying in your school. Anyway, I want to believe that that doesn't exist in your school, but I also want you to know that as children who are from junior secondary school area 11 and children who are from junior secondary school Apo, you are human rights defenders. Clap for yourself. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Teacher Debbie. Did you enjoy her class? If you enjoy her class, give her a resounding round of applause. Teacher Debbie has just told us about human rights. It is universal, it is indivisible, it is inalienable, it is this and that and that and that. Next, I want to invite Auntie Ngozi Okore. At the end of her lesson, she will become Teacher Ngozi Okore. She's where there are rights, there are duties, there are responsibilities. She's going to talk to us about rights, duties, and citizenship. Let's welcome her.
Good morning, everybody. All protocol duly and respectfully observed. Children, are we happy to be here? So that when you will hear that song, children's right, in a lemon right. Do you know how to sing it? Maybe, later we will learn it. Even in my own time, we sang it, but I didn't understand the meaning until I started. The only thing we do, we'll be saying, in a ratu bam bam topa topi bum, in a ratu topa topi bum bum bum. Okay, so children, Auntie Debbie has talked about human rights, and we are talking about rights and duties of citizens. So how this citizenship, their rights and duties, how are they connected? I want to give you an assignment so that maybe by next year we'll do it. When you talk about rights, what do you understand that right in your own language, in your own vernacular? Because it makes it better. You know what is right. I will give an example. I'm Igbo. Right. Okeruronye. You want to try in your own? Okay, so he's not Igbo. Okay, you wanted to say it. You want to say it in English? No, we don't want English now. We want our own so that we know. Okay, give him, he wants to try.
Right means, in Yoruba language, means eto.
I know that Hausa will not carry last. Do we have somebody from the north? Even if it's an adult, please tell us. So that we know what we are talking.
Inchi. Inchi.
So you see, we are all speaking one language. So when we talk about rights, you see in every lesson it's the same but with different dialects. So right, duties, and citizenship, they are foundational to the structure of any society. You cannot separate them. You cannot separate them. Because of time, I will just mention maybe the types of rights. You talk about natural rights, legal rights, human rights, civil rights, political rights. Children, can somebody give me an example of what we mean by political rights? When we say, please give them.
What we mean by political rights is the right that you get during an election, the right to vote or the right to be voted for.
Fantastic, fantastic. Who will try legal? Legal rights. Legal rights. Okay. No, I want somebody that have not talked, that have not said anything. Okay, give him.
Legal rights are right to life, right to freedom, right to education, etc.
Thank you. So legal rights are those rights that is given to us by the government and is documented. That's why we talk about constitution. If you go to constitution, we are talking about chapter 4, fundamental human rights. We talk about chapter 2, but we don't go in detail. For those ones, is the government that is given us by the government, and we have the importance of all those rights. Why? To safeguard personal freedom and dignity, enable participation in governance, just like she mentioned, promote equality and fairness, protect against abuse and oppression. Equality and fairness, what do we mean by that, children? Can we try? Equality and fairness. Okay, somebody's hand is up there.
Equality and fairness is when everyone is being treated the same. No one is treated with discrimination.
Fantastic. Equality and fairness. In the school, they will not say this one is for the boys. This one is for what? The girls. Anything that you want to do. Engineering. Where I stay, we have women that are mechanics. So anywhere you are, don't allow anybody to put you down. Just come out, compete with others. Whatever you feel you can do it. Don't say this one is not for, it's for boys. This one is for what? For girls. Thank you. So we now go to duties. Duties, they are the responsibility and obligation that individuals are expected to do towards others or society. What are our duties? We have duties. She talked about child rights and she didn't go to details. In those days when we are talking about that, we say, yes, children, we have the right to do this. We have the right to do this. But at the same time, because you are still a child, you have roles, you have responsibility, you have your duty to do. You are a child and you are given handset. Is it right for that child to start going to website maybe where they are showing pornography? So will you say, because it's my right, I will do that? Because it's your right, you will see an adult, you will not greet that person. Is it a right? No. So that's why we should know that we have duties, even as citizens. And we also have types of duties, which is moral duties, we have legal duties, and moral duties is to act in a way that it will favor others, like being honest in the school. Let you be known in the family. If something happened, they'll say, if this person has said it, that is how it's supposed to be. True or false? True. So we have social duties, and that one is towards family, community, and society. In our school, when it's time for labor hour, how many of us usually dodge that? Let's be sincere. We were talking about being sincere to ourselves. Do we participate in manual work? Who sweeps the dormitory? So that means you people, you don't work. Children, you have to be volunteer. 2 minutes. Where do I start now? Okay. So, what are our duties? We have talked about importance of duty, complementing rights by maintaining balance in the society, ensure the functions of law and the institutions, and foster social cohesion and collective progress. I'm rushing. They say I have 2 minutes. All these duties we are talking about is even captured or documented in our laws. It's documented. And let me just mention them. Abiding by the Constitution and law. You can note it. Just be noting, children. That are the So abiding by duties and law, the pledge and all of them. Defending Nigeria and rendering national services, that's the third. Respecting the right of others, contributing to the community. Then let's move to citizenship. Do we know what it means for somebody to be a citizen? Let's try. I want somebody that have not thought. Let's everybody speak. No right or wrong answer.
Citizenship is the act or process of being a partner in a particular country.
The act of what? Parcel of that. Is the status of being a member. Yes, he's right. Of being a member of a state or nation, which comes with rights, privileges, and responsibilities. And how do we become a citizen? We can become a citizen by measure of birth. We are born there, and we'll just be a citizen. You've been hearing American citizen, British citizen, Nigerian citizen. So we can still be a citizen by descent. What we mean, your parents are already there. So whether you're born there or you're not born there, as long as you're with your parents, naturalization. Have we been hearing about green card? You cannot do certain things. They say, they are nationalized. That means that person is now become a citizen of the, and it can be by registration. By registration, such as spouses or citizens or members of specific ethnic group through formal procedures. So let's look at our responsibilities. Responsibilities of citizenship: you have to uphold the nation's law. You have to obey the laws of that country, or else they will cancel it. It can be reversed. They will just pass you back to where you're coming from. So if you're in Nigeria and you've nationalized everything, please respect. You participate in civic life, such as voting, contribute to national defense, and respect others' rights. Yes, this is the last one. I will just round up. I'm rounding up by looking at the interdependence of rights and duties of citizenship. He said, even though rights empower individuals, but it also comes with corresponding duties. For example, the right to free speech is paired with the duty not to spread misinformation. You see social media, people will just get up and be saying whatever, and somebody can be sued, somebody can be in prison, somebody, you see some, they are saying is defamation. So don't say what you don't know, and don't tweet or what. Citizenship guaranteed rights like access to justice, education, and health care, which non-citizens, they don't have it. Citizenship entails fulfilling duties to strengthen the state and society, active participation like voting and community services, enhancing democracy and social equality. Thank you. I hope we can now talk about, yes, being citizenship. You can talk about duties. We know what it means, rights and human rights in general. Children, clap for yourself.
This teacher Ngozi's class, the thing hard, oh. Her textbook is an encyclopedia, where she got us to learn about Eto, Enchi, and please say it in Igbo again. Okay, all right, thank you very much. At this point, our time is fast spent. I want to hand over to my colleague to take over from me. Jenny Tohe.
Are we learning, students? Are we learning? Okay, beautiful. I like to just adopt the protocol that has been already established. My name is Jenny, as already announced by my supervisor. We're just moving on. I suppose a lot of us have the programs with us. So we're here on number 6. Just come along with me, number 6. I'll be inviting to take us through education as a right and lifelong empowerment. Fatima Mai, a resounding applause for her, as she educates us on all we need to know with respect to education as a right and lifelong empowerment. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. As she rightly stated, I am Mai Fatima Ahmad. I feel somehow falsely imprisoned, but I will take it like that. So good afternoon, everyone. Our dear children, good afternoon. And the colleague that left a few minutes ago taught us about right in Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. And I know children love to sing, so I'm going to sing a song that the last time I sang it was while I was in primary school. So let me sing it. I'm going to sing it in Hausa. It's going to be about all the things I'm going to talk about. So after singing it, I'll now translate. It's going to be brief. Shi ilmi farko zuwa makaranta, sannan shi zamto malami mai hali, mai iya tarbiya ga 'yan makaranta. Shi ilmi wallahi in ya samu, kome wuya da ka sha shi baka ganinsa. Shi ilimi mai mai da yaro babba, mai mai da bawa ɗa saboda fahimta. Forgive me. Since primary, I think I've tried. So the song is talking about education. That education paves way to better our life in almost all walks of our life. That education is a tool that makes a small person big. It makes one go places. Education makes a slave become a child, like becomes a full human, because you possess the two, you possess the skills, you have the knowledge. So that's the brief. So back to education, Gongo. Education is the process of learning. According to our compere, she said, children, are we learning? I believe we're learning. So education is the process of learning. Briefly, we have 3 types of education: formal education, non-formal education, and informal education. Can you tell me, does any one of you know what formal education means? However brief. Okay.
My name is Anichino So Divine, and I'm in just 3A. Formal education is a type of education that has scheme of work.
Okay, beautiful. That's nice. Any other one? Just one more. One more.
My name is Okoye Chukwamanda Favor. What I understand by formal education is by going to school to learn.
Okay, that's nice. So that's just it. It has a kind of curriculum. It's full-time. Briefly, that's what formal education is. We learn it in schools, universities, of course, colleges. That's how it's obtained. Then the non-formal one is slightly different from the formal one. That one, you can learn it through skills, maybe a kind of youth group in your debating society, stuff like that, gym. Those are the kind of things we learn in the non-formal setting. Then, of course, the informal one, it has to do with our immediate environment. And the first school of the child is where? The home. So we learn so many things at home: the way you behave, what you grow up to become, your attitude, the values that get to be instilled in you. We all get them right from home. So education is a kind of tool that makes us better people in future. For instance, taking the Sustainable Development Goal 4 that talks about quality education. Sustainable Development number 4 talks about quality of education in the sense that whatever we are today, that's what we become. The quality education we get today is going to shape us to what we become in future. Also, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria talks about right to education in section 18. Every person has the right to education. That one falls under the chapter 2, talking about fundamental objectives and directive principles of state policy. And of course, coming to your convention, Gongo, the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, Article 28, also stresses on the right to education, while Article 29 talks about the way to go about it. For instance, in school should be an environment where children will learn with a peace of mind. This COME that we say almost every day, C-O-M-E, there's a way you say it that will be so intimidating and so frightening. David, come here. Of course, it's going to startle David. He'll begin to think, God, what have I done to Malama Fati? But David, come. You feel welcome. You love it. You free your mind. So anytime a child has that free mind, definitely he's going to learn and learn so well, because the environment is comfortable, is cozy, is conducive. So that's what Article 29 of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child talks about, how the aims of education. Coming down again to the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, Articles 13 and 14. 13 is more comprehensive on the right to education. All these articles I'm giving you now are the provisions of the law that support the right to education. Earlier on, my colleague told you that education is a right, it's not a privilege. So all these provisions I'm listing now support that fact. 13 and 14 of the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. I'm being brief. You can note it so that you broaden your knowledge. At least I'm talking about learning process. So furthermore, African Charter on Human and People's Rights, Article 17, also supports right to education. Then Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 26. Keep noting so that you check it at your own leisure time. Then I've talked about the Constitution, 18, UDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, 26, Convention on the Rights of the Child, 28 and 29. Then the Constitution, 18, Chapter 2. So the empowerment now, briefly. Like I said in that song I sang, it shapes the way we behave. There are certain things we do that you can put a line of demarcation between someone that is educated and another that is not. For instance, this society that we are in now, because due to so many problems we face because of one reason or another, there tends to be violence. But even violence, it can be addressed in an educated manner, that it won't seem like violence. For instance, if somebody hurts your feelings, someone makes you angry and you're not happy with the person, there is a way you can walk up to that person and address it. If you're properly educated, formally, non-formally, and informally, any of them or in all of them, there's a way you do it. But you hurt me. I'm not happy with what you did. That person, you will not incite more anger from that person. That person will cool and attend to you very well. Instead of, there's nothing to Konidafu about anything. Or you throw that. You know, it won't do. It won't do that. So education shapes us, and it shapes us in a way that it takes us all through. As long as we live and breathe on this earth, education keeps empowering us. Economically, when you grow, you get job, you will be paid, you'll be able to support yourself, your family, strangers, relatives, friends, stuff like that. That's what education does. Socially, it makes you mix well with your colleagues, with your elder ones, your relatives, your parents. You understand? That's what education does. It does so many beautiful things. And that empowerment education gives is for life. Okay. So, you tripped me. So, the empowerment education gives us, shapes us for life. I've talked about the way we behave, the economic growth it gives us, it develops us. Of course, they run hand in hand. It develops us, the way we dress, the way we eat. I came across a child a long time ago. The baby girl, she like 9, 10, 11, I think 11 years old. She was eating, the food was in her front. What she was eating was coming out from her mouth, and she would now pick and eat again, like, of course, something, when immediately I saw her, I knew something was missing. She was not well trained as regards how to eat. You can't bend down, like, and you're eating the food in your mouth. It's gone. But she's a normal child, normal, like, there's nothing, no issue. No, but just that she missed, something was amiss. So that's all about education. It goes round, it's a cycle, it doesn't break. So it shapes us, it empowers us to be better children. Have a nice day.
Very fantastic delivery. I'm sure you can all agree with me. The delivery was fantastic, comical as well, and I know what sticks with students, children particularly. There's no way you will go home remembering the song that she sang and then all the stories she told us. Please let's appreciate Fatima May once more. It's going well so far, and it can only get better. We're people here at the Commission who are very mindful of our children. So the director has just instructed that we proceed on a 10-minute break only to allow the children just grab their lunch, their breakfast. So we're going to do that. 1 minute, please. Sorry for that announcement. While all of this was going on, we had a very senior person walk in here. He's actually the Senior Human Rights Advisor to the Executive Secretary, National Human Rights Commission. I have the honor at this point to invite him to the podium. He's going to talk to us about human rights, vision, values, and voices. Welcome, Mr. Hilary Ogbonna, to the podium.
Good afternoon, colleagues, directors here present, and very senior colleagues, and children, how are you? My name is Hilary, and I'll be talking to you about some very abstract things that will send you to sleep, but I hope you will not sleep. Anybody that sleep, please write the person's name, and you bring it to, I hope all the aunties and uncles have been treating you well. I hear you people have not eaten anything. So my lecture will be the shortest one you have ever received. I just want to talk to you about this thing called human rights. How did it come about? Human rights is, so I'll be talking about 3 V's. I actually like it: vision, values, and voices. So 3 V's. And the first one is about vision. Who can tell me what a vision is? Vision. Tantaran, tantan. Yes, you. The last person there, yes. Your name?
My name is Chidekoli Kamto Esther. A vision is something that you see that you want to achieve in the future.
Anyone else? Yes, give it to our young friend over there.
Excuse, please, excuse.
Vision is something you see that boosts you or makes you to do something good in life.
That's good. You're about to raise your hand, but you are not yet sure. All right, give her the mic. Maybe the mic would inspire her. See her here.
Okay.
May the mic inspire you to say something.
Yes.
What's your name?
My name is Chukwama Fortune, and I am in JES 3A from JSS Apo Resettlement. What I know about a vision is what you see and plan about your future.
Thank you very much. So let's talk about this vision now as it relates to human rights. And God created them male and female. And God said, "Go ye." And God rested on the what day? Hallelujah. Okay, collect offering. Collect no, from this side. These ones, they don't go to church. They only came today. Collect from them. Including Muslims, Christians, collect from everybody. The money does not say where it came from. This is our general overseer. Anyway, so God had a vision about human beings. And he created them in his own image and likeness. Right? So we see ourselves, we see God. Whether you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, you are Hindu, there is always this God-like element in all of us. And that is why no religion supports somebody standing up and killing another person. So the vision of human rights is born out of there shall be no domination of one people over another. Another vision of human rights that has been seen now, not from God now. God has created us and we are like God in his image and likeness. But there is also, along the line, as human beings, we began to make mistakes. Countries dominated others. Some human beings rose up and said, "We are now the kings. We are the kings and we would lord it over you." So there were empires all over the world. There were empires in Rome. There was the Roman Empire. There was also the French Empire. Then there was the British Empire. And who can tell me one of the countries that the British Empire colonized? Okay. Let us start from Oga, from behind. The one scratching her head.
Nigeria.
Who else can give us an example of another colonized country by Britain? Have you spoken before? You have spoken. Give the young man over. Okay, start with our sister here.
Ghana.
Ghana. Yo, what? Let the boy have it.
Okay.
Nigeria.
Yeah, somebody has said Nigeria. Were you sleeping when he said Nigeria? Okay, give us another. Can you remember another country?
Senegal.
Yeah, Senegal was colonized, but not by Britain. Who can tell me now who colonized Senegal? Which is good for us. Who colonized Senegal? Somebody is raising his hand. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Somebody is raising hand here. Who colonized Senegal?
I think the French Empire.
Francophonie! Oui. France colonized Senegal and so many of our neighbors. In fact, all around us, every country around us was colonized by France. So you can imagine now, so there is the French Empire, there is the British Empire. So in all of those colonies, they were violating human rights of people. So some of the countries they colonized, which I can't even begin to tell you now, and let me shock you. Do you know that the last colonial master of the United States of America was Great Britain? Britain colonized America, colonized Canada, colonized Australia, New Zealand. So it's not just African countries that Britain colonized. The almighty America was once under British rule. Substantial part of it. So these countries rose up and said, never shall we allow people to dominate us anymore. And we would have to fight against them, and we will have to enjoy our human rights, our right to vote, our right to form our own government. So they all sat down and had a vision of the rights that their people would enjoy. The first to revolt was France. So French Revolution that occurred tried to enthrone the rule by the French people against all the emperors that they had. Followed after was the American Revolution. The Americans revolt in 1776, and they said never again that we would be ruled by Britain or anybody, including by fellow Americans, without our choice. So this revolution started all over the world, and it culminated finally to the formation of the United Nations in 1945. But just like those revolutions, a lot of them were bloody. There was civil war. There were civil wars in some of these countries, including America. And then you know about the Second World War. The Second World War was fought by which countries? Can you remind me? My head is exploding and I can't remember many things anymore. Okay, let's start with our friend again. Yes, give him. No, give this our friend. This our friend, the Oga.
Germany.
Germany. Okay. Any other country you remember that fought the Second World War? Somebody behind you, Oga?
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Nigeria was coerced into the war. Yes, some of our grandfathers went to Panya to go and fight. Your own go Panya. So Nigeria was not fully involved. We were not participants. But some of our soldiers went to fight there. Anyway, so the major players, Germany, United States, Britain, Japan, Italy, they all fought themselves, including the use of nuclear weapon that was landed in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So, After over 2 million Jews were killed, the world came together and said, never again. And they proclaimed the United Nations in 1945. And one of the first things the UN did was to proclaim the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So the Universal Declaration of Human Rights now joined the American Declaration of Independence and the French Declaration as well, to become visionary documents of a world of equality, a world where everyone is equal, man, woman, boy, girl, white, black. All of us are equal because in the eyes of God we are equal. So that's the vision of human rights, a vision of dignity, a vision where every person should have food on their table, a vision where everybody should have access to education, a vision where nobody should rise up and dominate or kill the other person. That's the vision of human rights. And in Nigeria, we have our 1999 Constitution that follows and proclaims that vision. And even in that Constitution today, there is a part of it which is on fundamental policy, where government says it shall be the duty of government to take care of everybody in Nigeria. That's human rights. It shall be the duty of government to protect every Nigerian citizen. It shall be the duty of government to provide welfare for every Nigerian citizen. That's the vision of human rights. And that vision continues today in your schools, in your homes. It is the duty of your parents to provide for you. All of these things are the visions of human rights. Let us talk about values. Who can tell me what value is? Values. Yes? We come back to you again.
Values are the important things that we need in our lives.
Impressive. Thank you very much. She wants to try again.
Values are things we take serious and important.
So in that case, values of human rights are those important things that human rights proclaim. Those important things that human rights is supposed to provide or protect for us. Number one is human dignity. Dignity is a major value of human rights. The whole essence of human right is about dignity. If you don't have dignity, you don't say that you are enjoying human rights, because you are not. In fact, without dignity, you are not a human being. So dignity is very, very important as a value for human rights. The next value that I would like to talk about briefly, I think it has been mentioned by some of your teachers during the day, is the whole value of indivisibility. You cannot pick and choose the human rights you would enjoy. So one of the values of human rights is that they are all intertwined, they are interdependent. They live for each other. You cannot say you are enjoying right to health when you don't have right to food. Except, of course, you are a chosen. You know, anything is possible. The right to health must be enjoyed with right to food, right to water, right to education. Because without education, you don't even know how to imbibe healthy habits. So human rights are indivisible, they are interdependent. They depend on each other. Then the other value is that I spoke about it yesterday, solidarity. Where you see human rights being violated, you don't keep quiet. Where human rights are violated against one person, the human rights of every other person is being violated. And it is on that note that I come to voices. Human rights are only enjoyable when you are able to claim them. You don't just speak about human rights without your ability to understand them, to know what they are, and to be able to demand for your rights. You go home, there is no food, you are going to frown. Mommy, why is it that there is no lunch? I want my lunch now. Mommy will now say, okay, go and do the dishes. And that is your responsibility. As our teachers just told us, you go do your responsibility. After you have done your responsibility, mommy and daddy must put food in that plate. Okay? The other one is about your education. You have a right to education. You have a right to go to school. But it is your duty to learn in school. If your right is just to go to school and you are not learning, then you are not fulfilling that right. Another important aspect of voice is not everyone in your class has the same ability. There are people who are good in maths. There are people who are good in social studies. Do you still do social studies? Make I not talk the one I don't know. Okay. Some people are good in geography. Some are good in English. Some are good in literature. Then some are good in agriculture. Some are good in fine arts. Some of your classmates are strong to speak for themselves. Some are shy. When I was your age, I was a very shy boy. Yes. I only know how to talk in my mother's bedroom. But when it comes to school, I am usually very, very shy. But you outgrow certain things. But there are people who don't. So those people who will speak for them, it is you that will speak for other people. There are people today who are in jail. There are people who are being oppressed. They cannot speak for themselves. In fact, even if they speak, nobody will hear. And that is why there are people who speak for themselves. Who speak for them, sorry. Some of those people that keep speaking for people, you are going to see them along the corridor. One auntie will carry you to the corridor, you are going to see them. Ask questions. What did this man do? What did this woman do? You will hear from your auntie that these individuals we are calling human rights heroes today, we are able to become heroes because they were speaking for people, including people that they do not know. People who are not from their tribes, people who are not from their religion, people who are not from their states of origin. But they were able to speak for them. And that is why today we are celebrating all of them. And we hope that in 10, 15 years' time, your photographs will be there and we'll be celebrating you. Thank you very much.
Something better. Among many other points that you raised, easily for me, the high point, children, is the fact that he talked about your rights and duties, their rights and their duties. We can talk about human rights the entire year, but there are no rights without duties. So it's for you to go home not flagging or telling your parents, these are my rights, these are my rights. You also have duties that you have to accomplish as persons, okay? So please, don't forget to take that home with you. We're going to break for tea now, and it's just 10 minutes. Please, like we did the last 2 days, the students will stay behind. The rest of us will just go grab a cup of coffee and come back. And while that is going on, there's going to be a documentary, very, very important. I remember my co-MC, she had mentioned the fact that today is going to be really different and almost more important than the rest of the days we've had this program. There's going to be a documentary and you don't want to miss it. So just grab your coffee and come back immediately for the documentary. Enjoy your tea. Thank you. Your colleagues in other schools. Today, there's going to be a touch of difference. And I think that's what my co-anchor meant when she said there's going to be a difference today and is maybe better. You're going to be marrying or matching some of the faces to the pictures that you have been seeing. So today, it is beyond just photographs. It is also about visuals. It is on that note that I welcome us all back from our break, and then also to introduce the documentary that I'll be showing for the next few minutes. So, media, it's your turn. Thank you.
Abiola, The Matter for Democracy. Moshood Kashemowo Olawale Abiola was born in 1937. He won Nigeria's fairest election in 1993, offering a new vision for democracy. His victory was annulled, but he never ceased advocating for civil liberties. Abiola's ultimate sacrifice is immortalized in the annual Democracy Day, a testament to his fight for freedom. Senator Shehu Sani, defender of civil liberty. He was born in October 29, 1967 in Tudunwada, Kaduna State. Sani is the president of the Civil Rights Congress of Nigeria and the chairman of Hand in Hand Africa. He was a leading figure in the struggle for restoration of democracy in Nigeria, and his activism earned him several arrests and jail terms under past military regimes. Sani will be remembered for his tireless advocacy for human rights and democracy and good governance in Nigeria. His commitment to social justice and courage in the face of adversity has made him a respected figure in Nigeria's political and civil society.
Hi guys, this is a
Olisa
little bit of a
Abakoba,
sensitive
SAN, is a staunch defender of human rights. Olisa Abakoba, SAN, is a renowned lawyer and a human rights activist. Born on May 29, 1953 in Jos Plateau State, Abakoba hails from Onitsha, Anambra State. He has a distinguished career spanning over 4 decades. He founded the Human Rights Law Service, HIRI Laws, a non-governmental organization dedicated to promoting human rights in Nigeria. He was the president of the Nigerian Bar Association from 2006 to 2008. He will be remembered for his tireless advocacy for human rights, the rule of law, and good governance in Nigeria. Specifically, he will be remembered for challenging military rule, advocating for electoral reform, promoting rule of law, and mentoring future generations. Femi Falana, SAN, the defender of justice. Femi Falana, SAN, has a humble beginning in Ilawe, Ekiti State. He shifted from priesthood aspirations to becoming a legal lawyer. As a career, he dedicated to defending the marginalized, challenging military dictatorship, and fighting for democracy is a huge sacrifice to humanity. His legacy promotes workers' rights, press freedom, and constitutional law will be part of the legal party and transparency and accountability in government business. He will be remembered for fighting for reduced fee for indigent law students. Omoyele Sowore, the voice of the voiceless. Omoyele Sowore began his early life in Kiribo, Ondo State, and his formative years in activism as a student leader in the University of Lagos. He founded Sahara Reporters in 2006, a platform he uses for exposing corruption and advocating for human rights. His political ambition and activism includes his campaign for presidency and leadership in the movements like NSAS. He is a human rights defender. These heroes remind us that freedom is never free. Their sacrifice, courage, and unwavering commitment to justice have shaped Nigeria's history and continue to guide its future. May their stories inspire us to rise, speak, and act in the face of injustice. They are Nigeria's true heroes.
May their stories do what? To speak. Thank you. I just wanted to be sure we got that. That should be our take home. May our stories inspire us to speak and seek for justice in the face of oppression. Okay, so thank you very much. As a commission, in the last 3 days, what we've succeeded in doing, remember, all that has just taken place, you have the manual with you. So besides the very physical exhibition we usually have there, and you're still going to have that a couple of minutes from now, we have it in manual form, and now we have it in voice form. We're just trying to ensure that everything sticks with you. Is that clear? So that has been the voice over of the heroes of human rights as has just been presented. If you have your programs with you still, what we're on right now is the exhibition walk. And so for the last time today, in the last 3 days, our children are going to file out, led by the very competent director, Planning, Statistics, and Documentation, Halimat Oyedele. You're going to file out after her as she takes you through the exhibition outside. So for the last time in the last 3 days, ma'am. Just do this one. Stay. Let's ginger, madam is tired.
Adult.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
We've been doing this, so we know the routine. So please, children, come with me, please. And their teachers too, and our colleagues. How are you? It's not the one that they will hear inside the... Okay. So I have a mic. But you people were hearing me even without the mic. Will it not be better without the mic? So, Ganifawa Imi is probably the one that has slept in Nigerian prisons the most amongst all the human rights activists. He was always being jailed. He was always fighting for democracy, fighting for justice, and for that, he had been at loggerheads with the government for a long time, and he's one of those that paid with his life. He's dead now, but his legacy lives on, because what he did for democracy and justice in Nigeria cannot be forgotten very soon. Yes, please. No, he died on his own, but out of complications of all the injuries that he sustained in the prisons. He died on his own. You understand? He was not executed and he did not die in prison. He died in his home. Any other question? Okay, so we come to Wale Soyinka. You must have been hearing the name. This is the face. Wale Soyinka. In Nigeria, is the only person that has gotten the Nobel laureate. He got it for literature. His own activism was through the pen. He did not organize a protest or anything, though he participated in some. That Nadeko that I mentioned before, he was one of them. So he was an academician. He was writing plays and acting plays. So, and he was always using it against injustice perpetrated by government, right? Okay? And last but not the least, Dele Giwa. This is Dele Giwa, if you have been hearing the name. He was a journalist. He's one of those that also fought for justice through his pen. So he was a journalist. He was always writing against injustices in the land. And him too, he was, we believe he was executed. In the history of Nigeria, he is the only person that was killed through a parcel bomb. You know what a parcel bomb is? Okay. Some of you don't know. Okay. A parcel bomb, they call it a parcel bomb or a letter bomb. Is when there is a bomb. You know what a bomb is? Okay. But it will be put inside a letter so that as soon as you open the envelope, it will just go off and that person dies in the process. So that's a parcel or letter bomb. So this is Dele Giwa. If you hear his name, you have seen his face now. Okay, so this is the last of our heroes of democracy. Clap for yourselves. Don't push, don't push.
Welcome back. It's been a teamwork, from planning to implementation. It's teamwork. but one person that has unarguably played a very pivotal role. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Director of Planning, Statistics and Documentation, and I'd like to request that we just applaud Madam Halimat Oyedele. Thank you. Thank you very much. So please, the food, you're going to hold on a bit with sharing the food. We just had breakfast and we're almost done. And we have arrived easily to the high point of the 3 days event, which is the closing. And I'm sure that the Director, Corporate Affairs and External Linkages, my own director, Obina Nwokoye, will have a very serious message for us as he closes this 3-day event. My boss, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just here to say thank you to everybody who must have contributed in one way or the other to the success of this program. For the past 3 days, it's been exhaustive. Each day, we had much to do, and each day, people go away with additional knowledge to what they have ever had. You see, body of knowledge is like a building, and a building that you can never finish building. Each day you put a block. I'm sure today, all of you must have added to the stock of knowledge which you had. What you have learned here today, we have given you in papers. It is good you read them, and it's good you research more about them. Because as you have been told here, and we've been talking about all this while, every human being should be a human rights defender. Because if you defend the other person, you are defending yourself. If you kill somebody, it is either you kill yourself or somebody kill you. The law of karma says, do unto others what you want people to do unto you. That is exactly the message we are trying to pass unto you. For the past 3 days, we have been meeting students from different schools. We had a schools debate, we had quiz, and today we have added for you to see on the screen most of the things others have been seeing in person, but you are advantaged to see that and see the science. So we thank you all for coming. We thank the Executive Secretary of National Human Rights Commission, Dr. Tony Ojukwu, OFR, SAN, FICMC. He is the Executive Secretary of National Human Rights Commission. He would have been happy to be here in person, at least a handshake with you or to speak to you. He's away, just doing the work of human rights. So as a human rights defender, you are always and always should be ready to be moving about, defending the interests of human beings, and that's what he's doing. And that's what we are urging you individually and collectively to be doing. And we pray that you all will have to key into this project. So we thank him so much for making this possible, for providing resources for all of you to be here, for those who have come, for all of us to have enjoyed this program for the past 3 days. We thank the donors who had provided the resources. We thank IDEA. IDEA means International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance. We thank European Union. These are the people that have supported us to have these programs and made it possible for you to come here, because you have been told that as you come, you will have transportation of your coming and have transportation of your going back. They provided the resources, and we thank them so much. We thank the Senior Special Assistant to the Executive Secretary, Mr. Hilary Obonna. He has been on his toes from the beginning of this event, and it's not yet to huru for him. That's why he ran away. He would have been here. But this event started on the 22nd of this month, and it will run up to the 10th of December, the International Human Rights Day. So there's much activities that we are around, and we promise that anyone that will need your presence again, we are going to call you. So we thank him for being on the background, supporting all these events, and making it possible for us. We thank all the directors, we thank all the staff, and yesterday we were informed that outside you, who are students, the other people on the other people are what? out-of-school children. That's what all of them are. So you are privileged that you are in school and all of them are not out of school. So what we pray is that you go through school and join this class. Huh? So we thank them for being here. We thank them for their support. We thank them for being with us at every inch of this movement, especially the resource persons who we usually call at a very short notice, and they come here and present as if they have prepared for a very long time. So we thank the first person that presented, we thank the second person that presented, we thank the third person that presented. Yesterday, it was just like this. And every staff is ready to assist, to help. And we are so grateful. And we are so grateful to you for listening. And it is because you are listening that they were here talking. So we thank everybody. We thank the resource person. We thank the students, all of you. The promise we are making to you is that we are continue and will continue to give the support you need to be better persons. And it is your responsibility to tell yourself that you are going to be better persons. So we thank you for coming. We thank you for listening. And we say, as you go well. We thank the media. We thank the ushers we have here, the people in black. They have added color to this program, and it was their presence here that made all that we are doing here have the needed colors. They have helped us. They have worked with us, and we thank them very much for being in us and with us. So we thank everybody, and we pray that as we end this, as we said, there's going to be event on Monday again, there's going to be on Tuesday, on Wednesday, until the 10th. So we urge everybody to continue to support us or support every event that comes on, and say, as you have come, accept our gratitude, and welcome when we call you again. Thank you.
May I just also add that we all appreciate the Director, Corporate Affairs and External Linkages Department. Okay, that brings us to the end of this 3-day event. But before we depart, I have been asked to announce that we just stay put the way that we are. Remember, it was a bit chaotic yesterday with our lunch. So to avoid that, we're appealing that everybody just sits. And it's going to be brought to us. You do yourselves injustice if you begin to call your friends. But I've just been asked that you just stay put nicely the way that we are and everything will go round. Can we just all rise as we close the 3-day event with the national anthem, please? The first stanza only.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our song.